There is no such thing as loyalty in football, from players or from fans. Let me show you 3 tweets and you let me know what they've got in common. The first one, we have Alexander Isak crashing out on Instagram about not going to the PFA and whatnot. We're going to go through and read it and decide, is he right or wrong? We have Wissa, who has blacked out his Instagram and he's deleted all the Brentford pictures and blah blah blah. And then we have LibanLDN, who has also blacked out his Instagram, or rather his Twitter here, as if he's on BBM back in 2009 or something like that, because he has been banned for not dyeing his hair green as promised. What do these 3 things have in common, you ask? I will tell you. East Africa. What is going on over there? Whilst in West Africa we have guys like Mohamed Kudus shining, Antoine Semenyo being an exemplary human being, defeating racism, kicking that wheelchair guy out, and then scoring a banger or 2 on his head top. Phenomenal. Meanwhile, we have guys here who are taking matters into their own hands, acting like petulant children. At this point, I'm afraid the only loyal East African is Fuizi, still defending Darwin Núñez, gassing up his goals for Al Hilal. Well, you may be wondering why I'm late. That is because I am happy to confirm that I will be the emergency signing for SDS tomorrow. That is why I could not upload for you guys at 5 PM today. But I am here now. We're going to be discussing a lot of transfers in terms of Isak, Wissa, but then also the reverse, where loyalty from you guys, the fans, is very questionable. Everyone's a hypocrite depending on what team you support, whether you want the player or not. But again, SDS tomorrow, catch that one there. But let's start with Alexander Isak. I think that's the big one, right? He says he's proud to be nominated PFA, blah blah blah, but he didn't want to go there and he's thankful for the Newcastle fans, etc etc. He does the whole cryptic thing of, I've kept quiet for a long time whilst others have spoken, blah 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 blah, and it's allowed, what does he say? It's allowed their own version of events. I'm sorry mate, as far as we're concerned, you did not go to training, bro. Nobody has invented that. You didn't go there. Otherwise you'd have said you went there. So nevertheless, let's try and look at it from both perspectives, and you guys let me know in the comments. Is Isak in the right? Are Newcastle in the right? Are Liverpool in the right or in the wrong? Because you can look at it 2 ways, yeah? They've made a promise to Isak. They've said, alright, boom, after this season, you're free to go, gentleman's agreement or whatever, right? We don't know what was in writing. We don't know what was in a specific contract. Was it a verbal thing? We don't know for certain, other than what they both claim, right? He says there was a promise that I can go. Liverpool are looking around, 100 mil or so, and Newcastle are saying, actually, no thank you, we're fine. We want 150, because of course they are backed by the entire Saudi and PIF and whatnot, so they can ask for 150 because that's how they value them. That's fair, right? I think so far we're on the same page. Newcastle have every right to demand however much money they deem Isak to be worth, right? Liverpool, likewise, a little bit questionable, where if you know that you haven't got the money for the 150, don't bother starting it in the first place, because now you've unsettled my man. You've made him throw his dummy out the pram or whatever, and he's crying and whatnot. But again, look, I understand where they're coming from. They obviously wanted Isak. They had the whole beef about Ekitike and whatnot, blah, 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 blah. However, look, I'm a champion of black excellence, right? So you know me, I like to defend my African brothers. But this behavior, I don't think I can defend it, guys. I don't think I can defend it. Because once Newcastle have made their stance clear that, look, boom, you're not going anywhere, in my opinion, you just got to firm it, bro. You just got to firm it, try to reintegrate back into the team, and then, again, see what can happen afterwards. Because right here, right now, I'll be honest with you. Again, it's a prediction. I could be completely wrong. I feel like the best case scenario, or the more realistic scenario, is that he just says, you know what, guys? Yeah, my bad. I bugged out. And then by match day 2 or 3, he's back in there. Not even match day 2, that's a lie. I reckon they've actually delayed it because Newcastle Liverpool coming up. I don't think either fan base realistically wanted that to happen. The neutrals will love it. Would we love to see Newcastle sell Isak to Liverpool and him in a Liverpool shirt? That would probably mean they moonwalk the league, to be fair. So probably not that. But as a spectacle goes, I think it will be really, really hostile. So they're obviously going to wait until afterwards. But the other sensible solution would be, again, just say, yo, my bad, by match day 5 or 6, reintegrate back into the team. And a couple goals, like I said, if he does that against Sunderland, if he's doing that at Stadium of Light, I promise you Newcastle fans will forgive him. Why? Because football fans are fickle. Case in point, Yohan Wissa. The Newcastle fans are loving it. They're saying, yeah, Yohan, do whatever you can to come over here, bro. Come on, come to Newcastle, come to Newcastle. The same way Liverpool fans were crying their eyes out that Trent, who, by the way, didn't down tools. He had a stinker against United, fair play, but he didn't down tools. He scored one of the goals that kind of won the title, sealed the title against Leicester, was it, that winner? Carried on playing to his best every game, and then went, and now they're angry at him. But Isak, yeah, it's calm. Come through, bro. You are a hypocrite. And again, I don't mean that as a personal thing towards Liverpool. Every single fan base is a hypocrite. We can speak on Arsenal fans, right? Today, they confirmed that Trossard will be signing a new deal. Trossard, to most Arsenal fans, is surplus to requirements. So what does that mean? Get out. We don't need you anymore. But if this guy had scored 20 goals and got 15 assists or whatever, and Saudi were coming through, or whatever teams are linked with him were coming through, they'll be screaming, "No, don't go, what are you doing? We gave you a chance to finally play for a big club." Obviously, you played in Belgium, and you played for Brighton and whatnot. So football fans' loyalty is solely dependent on how useful you are at the time. Case in point, Trent, best right back in the world, or not best right back, top 3. Let's say Hakimi's 1, 2 and 3, you can argue and interchange Koundé and whatnot. So therefore, they're going to be rattled by him going. Case in point for Newcastle, Isak is probably their best player of the last however many years. Since Shearer, realistically, if we're keeping it 100. They won't say it now because he's on his way out. But Isak has delivered them their first trophy in decades, half a century. So of course, you're going to be angry about it. Whereas the reverse, again, Trossard is no longer needed by Arsenal fans. So it's get out, discard him. Players that are having injuries, fans will be like, "Hey, you know what? He's too injury prone. Get him gone." As if like they are asking to get injured, or it's their choice to get injured. I don't really understand it. Now, I repeat with Isak, this is just childish. We are not in year 9. We're not on MSN Messenger where you're nudging somebody's. You know what, on MSN back in the day, some of you are too young, you won't know what I'm talking about. On MSN, yeah, when someone's like not replying to your message, this is how jarring people were. They'll start knocking on your screen like that, and the screen will start shaking. You can be in a different room, your screen will be shaking like that. That's what they're kind of doing right now, and it's kind of sad. However, I also understand if you've been given a verbal promise that you'll stay for a year, do your best, and then you can cut. I get why you'd be rattled, right? Wissa has had his best scoring season. Him and Burma went crazy, filling in the shoes of Ivan Toney beforehand. So they have every right to be annoyed. But I just feel like there's a way to go about things. Now, if you ask me honestly, what could he have done? That is where I don't know. I don't know what the actual solution is other than sort out things with your contracts. Because a big argument many people are making is, oh, well, why did you sign a 6-year deal? Why did you sign this? But the same way I told you about, let's say, Trossard, for example, or any player that starts to fall off, you know that players will start freezing guys, or sorry, clubs rather, will start freezing players out. Look at Manchester United. I'm not going to bring up Garnacho because I feel like it's a whole entire video for Garnacho that I'm going to dedicate just to him because he is in his own delusional fairyland, yeah? So let's discuss Rasmus Højlund. This is someone that you, man, spent money on. People were gassing him up. Oh, he's only 20. Oh, he's only 21. Until you realize, you know what? Maybe the rival fans were right. This guy's kind of cheeks. And the club have realized it. And now he's being ostracized. You're playing your first game of the season. They're making my man sit in the stands and watch. They're telling him, no, don't get involved. You're at the door. Get out. Get out. They were talking about, oh, we have to support him. He's going through some tough stuff. And, you know, they're bullying him on the internet. But now that you've realized he ain't that good, out you go. Nicholas Jackson. Just last year, by the way, 2024. What happened? They signed this guy to like a 9-year... I think his deal runs out in 2033 or something crazy like that. Already they're saying, yep, no, time to go. So football is a ruthless business. So that's what you got to understand with the players, the managers, the fans, whatever. Everybody is there for their own best interests, right? As a fan of a club, all you really care about is your team winning, right? Let's be honest about it. You just want your team to win. You'll be happy if you see academy players come through and whatnot. But as long as the team is winning, anyone else, you can go, bro. Off you pop. From a player's perspective, they've got a 10, 15-year window at max if they're, you know, at the top level to make something of their career. Someone like Wissa and Newcastle is a huge step up. For someone like Isak, going from Newcastle to Liverpool, playing not just to be in the Champions League, but a team that can win it, that can win the league. This is something that will determine his legacy. Everyone's got different intrinsic motivations. Word to Kudus, right? For Alan Shearer, he won the league at Blackburn. Cool, he got his trophy there. For the rest of it, It was, I want to do it for Newcastle. And he ultimately, he failed to deliver for Newcastle, but he didn't care. That was his only goal, to bang goals for Newcastle. He became the record Prem scorer, etc. He could have gone United, and he would have banged there, because if you know Alan Shearer, you know he would have banged in any team. He would have won multiple trophies, but that was not his goal. But you got to understand, Isak has no loyalty towards Newcastle, bro. They're talking like he was born and bred in Newcastle. I know he sounds like he's from Ends, but come on, guys, let's be serious about it. The brother came from Spain. You're acting like, you know, you found some hidden gem or something in the gutters, in the Tema streets or something, bro. You paid big money for him. Everyone rated him, but the only reason why the upper echelon teams didn't go for him was because they were worried about the numbers. So you guys, with all due respect, are the stepping stone. Everyone has to know their place. Everyone has to know their place, rather, in the food chain. But if he bangs at Newcastle, you know, all right, cool, we can bring him there. So unfortunately for you guys, he has realized it is time to move on, time to go and get trophies. Has he gone about it the right way? Absolutely not. And I agree with you there. But again, maybe it's something to do with this region, you know, because like I said, we then go into guys like Liban, who, as someone that, again, I'm on an emergency loan to SDS right now. I'm trying to just, you know, do my best to get minutes with the first team. I'm doing it for the fans, right? This is all about the team and all the other PR answers. It's a World Cup year. I'm trying to get, you know, more caps under the belt to try and make the squad, if you will, to head out to Atlanta, LA, Miami, all these ends over there. I'm trying to get there, so I got to put in these performances. But then we ask ourselves, is it acceptable to make a promise and go back on it? Because here we have a player who has promised everyone, rather he promised me in person even, I will be dyeing my hair green. He gave me his reasons at the time. I said, you know what, I understand, I get it. I personally thought it was because, I don't know if it's public knowledge or whatever what his job is, but I thought it was because of his job. He said, no, it's just there's stuff happening this summer, blah, blah, blah. So afterwards, before this season has arrived. So unless he's waiting for the Serie A, maybe, but I know damn well Liban ain't an avid Serie A viewer. So I expect the green hair very soon. You may be thinking, who the hell is this guy to demand anything? But alas, here we are. We are demanding loyalty towards players, towards clubs, towards managers. Where do things end? People are riding the storm for Ruben Amorim, a guy that's rivaling Pujol at Derby and that for the numbers. I mean, come on, guys. Can we please be serious? So I don't know what's happening over there at East Africa, but I think it's good for SDS to have some West Africa representation and some Eastern Europe as well in there. I'm pretty sure I might be the first one of any Eastern European descent that's been on there. A lot of you keep asking me, like, where am I from? Bro, guys, I'm from both of them, man. GHM Moldova for life. Big up both of them. So yeah, essentially, my overriding point here and why I'm yapping is because I believe everyone is a hypocrite. I believe if somebody was fighting for their life to go to your team, do you know what? Let's bring up Arsenal again. Victor Gyökeres. The brother's got an entire song about how he dumped his girlfriend on ends to go to Arsenal. They are chanting that one in the concourses and they're bouncing like that. Let that be Bukayo Saka trying to go to like a Real Madrid or something. There'll be anarchy. They'll start drawing big massive X on the murals. Look at you, Arsenal signed Madueke. Look at their response. You wanted like a winger, and again, you can understand why people are angry in terms of they've expected a left winger, and he's now suddenly the main left wing option because there's no Eze, there's no this guy, there's no that guy coming. Rodrigo's begging it. That's got to be another video, by the way. Rodrigo, you need to stop begging it, bro. Understand that you're not rated there. They're bringing on, you've just won today, obviously. You played 0 minutes. They're bringing on random children ahead of you. So that's another one where, again, loyalty goes out the window because they are saying just go get us our money. Some of them are saying just stay, fight for your place. Everyone just has their own best interests at heart. My question to you guys is, in the comments, where do you think Isak will be on September the 1st? Do you hear him out? Is he in the right? Is it a Sol Campbell thing? Is it a Luis Figo thing? Or are you letting him land on this one? He was promised something and they've snaked it. Is he greedy? I don't know. What I do know is that we will be here again tomorrow and the next day and the next day because I have loyalty to you guys. Why? Word to the Isak celebration. You know what I'm pointing to by now. If you've been here by now and you haven't subbed, on the road to that 100k plaque. So keep supporting, keep liking, commenting, sharing. I think it will be the Arsenal tier list tomorrow. We've done many other teams. We'll probably do Arsenal next, and then we'll see what I go on afterwards. But yeah, have a great evening, have a great night. I'll see you, man, tomorrow in a bit. Bosh.